We find that it is impossible to synchronize yourselves with the events around you without first understanding that you are those events. You become your reality. Your reality is you. It is not just a reflection of you and what you think, it is you. You are it. You and only you can change. The outside world, so to speak, is a projection of your energy. Of your energy. That is why it is said that you should be the change you want to see in the world. It is because the world is you. You are your world. It requires you to be an observer of it. Yes. To make changes without judgment, without criticism, without pointing out what is wrong. It is your focus that determines what you project next. So, be aware of what is around you right now for the purpose of realizing what it is you are vibrating. When you synchronize yourself with a more harmonious reality, you will feel everything clicking into place. So, you are the one who gets to decide, which reality do I want to synchronize with today? It's that simple. It can be, if you allow it. If you allow yourself to be the creator, instead of the reactor. Notice how similar those two words are. You flip some letters around, and you get one or the other. This is all about changing perspective. And for you, today, the change begins within. Pretend you are waking up and when you look out of your window, you see only magic before you. You have no idea of what is real and what is imaginary. You simply acknowledge that what is before you is there because of you. It is made for you, by you, with you. You are recognizing your place as creator beings. And when you do this, you give yourselves an opportunity to bring more of that energy through. What you do with it is your call. But you will be asked to move that energy into something or someone. It is meant to be played with. You are the hands of God. You are here to use that energy and to share what it is you have, your unique perspective. It will bring about great change when you all recognize your part in the magical world that is before you. It is filled with nothing but creators and magicians. What do you want to pull out of your magical hat today? Begin to recognize the frequencies of whatever you are engaging with, whether they be human, animal, plant, object, situation, institution, concept, ideology. Whatever it is you are experiencing, feel its frequency and decide whether that is what you are interested in participating with. And you will determine that you have a better ability to interpret frequency than you have been giving yourself credit for. You are beings of frequency yourselves. You have your own unique resonance. And you know that you are evolving at a rapid pace. So being able to differentiate between different frequencies will be of service to you, as you begin to open yourselves up to more experiences. When you feel a frequency that has a desirable vibration, you can remember that and file it away for future reference. So that when you want to have an experience with whatever it was that was offering that frequency, you can find it in your file cabinet and you can offer it yourself. Begin to play with your world in this way and see just how easily you create a desirable experience. We decided to give you a bonus today, because you are doing so much releasing. And we are excited to reveal more to you. You send the frequencies to your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, your relations. And they are receiving that energy much more clearly than they hear your words or are able to interpret your actions. And this is how it should be. You don't create with your words and with your actions. You create with your frequency. Putting your frequency into alignment with your words and actions will create a more powerful version of yourself. We get enthusiastic when we consider the idea that you would line up with your true power. And we know that you are enthused about it as well. Having said that, you must first uncover those areas where you are out of harmony, and for many of you this will be a bit unsettling. Okay, remember, you must release that which does not serve you, and to do so, it must be in your awareness. So, have as much fun with this process as you can, for it will be transformative and ecstatic beyond your wildest imaginations. We have always let you interpret our messages because you are the ones living in the reality where you find yourselves. So it is important that you have your unique perspective on what it is you receive. We cannot make you understand anything that you are not ready and willing to open up to. But we will be encouraging you to find your own answers, regardless of what you are getting from the higher realms. It is very important for you to have the ability to discern what is pertinent to your situation and what is not. So begin to have a dialogue with yourselves about what you receive and whether it works for you. It is unnecessary for you to take everything as gospel in order to receive benefit from what you are getting. It is only necessary for you to take whatever works and leave the rest. We will always give our perspective because you want it. But you are your own best teachers, and you are the ones doing the actual work in your dimension. You are the experts on your reality. We are your support system who can give you a broader perspective, a more universal one. Yes. And you are assisting us, simply by being on your journeys. It will be quite interesting to us to see how you all make the transition. We wish to assist you in making it a joyous one. We have always appreciated your sense of having a perspective that is uniquely your own because you were created to be in that place of individual experience. But you also were created to have a sense of yourselves as a collective. So, you are participating in a world where you seem to be separate and have your separate lives. And at the same time, you are affecting all those around you, and they are affecting you. We are beginning to see your evolution towards recognizing yourselves as a group consciousness. You have the ability to tap into that awareness as an individual, and you can benefit from what others have done. You have access to records, and so it is possible to download information. Just as you would on your computer. You would like to know a certain recipe for making a delicious meal? You can receive that from the records that are stored in your mass consciousness. It is no different than flipping through a book. And you're ready to begin seeking out information in this way. That is why you have an internet. Because first you had to see that it was possible to get information in that way. Now it is becoming more common for you to expect to be able to access whatever information you need, quickly and easily. And when you realize that this is a reflection of what you can do on your own, without the machines, then you will be able to receive it even more quickly and organically. And you will seek out information in this way, with a complete expectation that it will be received. Pretend you are giving yourself a vacation from your life. What would you do if you could do anything with no restrictions on yourself whatsoever? You have this freedom, but most of you don't exercise it. Why? What is your reason for staying in a life you don't prefer? It is a choice. Plain and simple. We encourage you to look closely at those reasons. Those excuses you have been using. How do they serve you? Is it your stubbornness that keeps you on the path you have been on? It seems to be a lack of belief in yourselves as creators. It is time to believe. You are ready to take on that kind of power. Believe in yourselves. You create in every moment of every day. You are the only one who can change your life. Pretend for just one day that you are creating it all, like a magician who holds all the spells in the universe. We tell you that is how it is, and yet, it behooves you to just do it yourselves. Stop thinking that it is just a nice concept and do it. Create. We support you in your creations. But you are the ones living your lives, so you must make the decisions, and you must take the leap. It is your time. Have fun. Remember the best of who you are is a reflection of your source. It is a wonderful thing when you recognize yourself as an aspect of the divine. When you give yourself credit for having done something well and for the traits you are particularly fond of in yourself. We want you to focus on those aspects of yourselves to the extent that all other aspects are shrouded by your attention to what is lovable about yourself. You are magnificent beings participating in a wonderful time in your universe. It is time for you to take some credit for being here and participating with your unique signature vibration. We want to send you our thanks for your work and your service, and we want you to know that you are deserving of that praise. Always remember that you are as special as anyone else. And you contribute as much as anyone else to the whole. Regardless of how it may look to you from your vantage point, your life is a significant contribution. And you are one of the wonders of this world. When you get the signals, they appear to be from your own mind. That is why you think you are not receiving from your guides. Because you think that if it is something that you have thought, then it must have originated within you. But truly, nothing does. You are the one who has the experience of thought. But you do not create the thought. Thought exists. Yes. You are the creator of your experience of it. You receive thought from many places. Begin to make a distinction between thoughts that have originated within the structure of your environment and which thoughts have been downloaded by you from your friends and helpers. You know which thoughts you have experienced many times in your consciousness, and you know which ones feel like they are new, like they are inspired, like they are revelations. And so, always pay attention to the frequency you have been offering, and then notice what thoughts you are pondering, because in order to receive clearly messages from those like us, you must get into a higher frequency state, and there are many ways in which you can do this. Many of you enjoy being in nature. That is one way. Being with your animal friends is another. And spending some time in water is another. Basically, anything you enjoy doing, you do for the sake of the experience of doing it and for no other reason. Those are the times when you are most receptive. But you are being sent guidance and information every chance we can get. Make it your intention to receive clearly those messages, for they will be of service. And give your mind a break from thinking it has to do all the work and make all the conclusions and figure everything out. For truly, it was not designed to do that. We have always received your wonderful gifts. You give us more by simply living your lives than you could ever know. It is part of the process of evolution to take what is being lived by as your lesson. So when we are observing, we are learning about ourselves. And when you observe each other, you can and do the same. You find others around you who are working on similar themes in their lives, and you are able to see the reflections from your own life in what they are living. You don't have to live everything out yourself in order to benefit from the experience. You are able to find the necessary information from another's experience and apply it to your own situation. You do this all the time, and it serves you very well. It is one of the reasons why you are able to feel compassion for another. Because you see yourselves in them and them in yourselves. And you know you are in this grand journey together, working as one. Have you noticed that bringing yourselves into a state of remembering is necessary for you to begin your journey to the next phase of your evolution? It requires you to put aside the things that you once would cling to as your definitions of yourselves and of your environment. It is important for you to regard yourselves and all others as nothing but beings of love and light who have individual vibrational signatures. That is how we suggest that you begin to view all others in your world. You tend to define yourselves and others by what you appear to be on the outside. And that can only limit you. Because you can only see what appears to be true. That is why you have the meaning of the word, appear, to be that which it seems. You are not really human beings who are walking around as physical bodies. You are so much more than that, and you are the energy gives life to those bodies. Those forms are like masks. Like costumes that you wear to play out your roles in the theater that is your world. Reach for a more comprehensive view of who it is you all are. And see that it is but an illusion to call yourselves individual, human, male, female, Democrat, Republican, American, European. It would be far more accurate to say that each one of you is source, that nothing at all is separating you. And that the end result of all of this is simply to know yourselves as the oneness of Source while having a unique experience. It is like being on a vacation from your more permanent reality. We think you will enjoy yourselves more as you hold this knowingness while walking through the illusionary world. You always intended to find the answers to the questions your life would cause you to ask. You are giving yourselves the opportunity to discover who it is you are as if you were knowing it for the first time. That is a wonderful thing. In your creation of your life, you were quite particular about many of the details because you knew exactly what would get you to stop and go within. So, you simply want to eliminate all of your challenges so that you can live the good life, yes? That is what most of you seek. And yet, we know that the good life comes only when you live fully in every moment without wanting for anything to be different. We want you to approach your life with a sense of fascination about how it is you constructed these obstacles to be of service to you. The set of circumstances you chose for yourselves helps you to discover everything you need to know in order to be a whole and complete being right now. Because only when you are satisfied with the life that you are living can you take on a more creative role. When you see yourselves as victims, you can only experience a life of victimhood. Whether you see your oppressors as your government, your society, your family, or even us, you must recognize yourselves as the only one putting the pieces into place before you can do so more consciously. We have begun your exercise. You are the frequency, and you are the ones who put everything into place. We suggest things to you, but you get to decide what you take on and what you do not. And we applaud you for that ability to use information as you see fit. But we also encourage you to seek it out, because we want you to know that you can and often do receive what you are looking for in your travels. You get to present yourself with a variety of solutions to every situation you find yourselves in, and whichever one is the one that suits you in the moment is the one to select. But there is more than one way, more than one approach, to every situation. And you are in a world where many people are offering their opinions, their perspectives, on the way that is most beneficial for you. You are all under the impression that there is simply one way that works best for all people, and it is your job to find the one way. The correct way. God's way. But know that it is not that simple. It is not as if God has one way for all beings at all times, and expects you all to be in the same place, receiving the same messages and applying them in the same ways to your lives. Your lives are very different. You are unique, and that is why you have so many perspectives. Some that will work for you today but not tomorrow. This hour, but not yesterday. You are creator beings and you are creating all that you experience. So practice some discernment when it comes to what it is you are reading, hearing, watching, and you will always be presented with a variety of options. Simply choose the one that works for you in the moment, and do not expect it to be the solution that will suit you forever. For you will continue to evolve and change and find yourselves in different situations that require different approaches. That is the way. That is the truth. That is your life. We have one request from you, and that is that you stay in a higher vibrational state. It is going to serve you in the present and in what you call the future. It is a frequency adjustment that takes only a few moments of your time. You receive such a benefit from giving yourselves a little tune-up when you need one, and to stop what you are doing and notice how you are feeling is all that is required. By giving yourselves a respite from what it is you think you need to do and realizing that you are having some difficulty maintaining your frequency will suit you and serve you very well. Because that is the first step. The first step is, you notice. The second step is, you do not judge, you accept. Give yourselves a pat on the back for recognizing that you are feeling what you are feeling. Then, put your attention on your body and breathe. When you breathe consciously, it is like pressing the reset button. You begin a new chapter. We encourage you to have at your disposal an image of something that you can put in your mind's eye that will put you into a higher frequency state in these moments. Breathe in consciously and you project your image in your mind's eye. You give yourselves a new starting point. We wish for you to play with this exercise and see how differently your day unfolds when you use it. It is a world of vibration. You are in control of how you vibrate. Therefore, you are already the masters of the universe. Begin experiencing that now. Understand that there is only now. You are never in any other place. You are never in the future or the past. But you sometimes want to be. And that is causing you to be fragmented. Yes. And that is why you have less energy. When the door is open and the light is on, there is more to be discovered. There is more to be had. When the creations are in your grasp, you all get excited again. But when you are simply being in the moment with whatever it is you have less involvement. You detach yourselves so much because it is not the moment you would like to be in. And this is causing you to be less than who you really are. By not fully engaging with whatever moment you find yourselves in, you are fractioning yourselves off, and this diminishes your power and only prolongs the circumstances you find yourselves in. You must be fully present in order to complete the journey. We give you a choice now. You can continue to be partially present and stay where you are. Or you can be fully present, fully engaged, and move to a higher frequency. But you cannot get to the higher frequency by pretending that what you are doing now is without substance and without value. That it is a mistake. That it is something you are simply here to endure. You will take that attitude with you wherever you go, whatever dimension you find yourselves in. So you must be fascinated with what is before you so that you continue to carry that frequency into the higher realms. We breathe with you. We create with you. We synchronize our thoughts with you because you are us. We are the creators. You are the creation. We always send you what you need. But you sometimes do not receive. That is because for you to have the experiences you set out to have, you must live out your stories. And so what you have sought to be, to have, to experience, is already in your energetic field. You have access to all of those experiences, but you are in the process of clearing. When you clear, you allow in what has already been given. We suggest that rather than focusing on things that are already inevitable, such as your ideal selves, your ideal lifestyles, your ideal mates, give yourselves the wonderful challenge of releasing the distortions that inhibit those realities from being fully experienced by you. How do you do this? By paying attention to what is happening. By recognizing how you are feeling. By identifying what it is that is accompanying those feelings in your psyche, and simply desiring to clear those programs that do not serve you any longer. Such programs as, I am unworthy. I am powerless against forces that exist in my universe. I am less than whole. I am sick or incapacitated in some way. You are much more than these stories that you are in the midst of playing out. Identify yourselves as the ones who are projecting the energy into this reality to have this experience, and witness your experience from that perspective. The whole you that is running this show. What is the point? What is your purpose? Who are you in the grand scheme of things? What is this all for? We would like to give you our perspective. You sit in a universe of duality because it allows you to see all sides. You have many perspectives and you get to choose which one suits you the best. What is most important is that you take your unique perspective on and maintain, regardless of what anyone else around you thinks or feels about it. And when you do this, you fulfill your purpose for being. It is not about doing anything, but it is about being everything. And remembering that you can be one with all that is while having a unique perspective on what it is you experience. By labeling and categorizing and making one way or side right, and the other way or side wrong, you create division, separation, inequality. And these things do not really exist. That is the illusion. When we say you are living in an illusionary world, that is what we mean. You create those experiences, but they are not real. That is not how it really is. And that is why it hurts. That is why you feel the discord of those vibrations. Because they are not in harmony with your true nature. When you give up the idea that one way is right and you accept all that is, You find yourself in the place of that you once sought out by looking for one truth, one correct perspective, one path. Now you know it is all there for you to examine and experience so that you may choose and hold your frequency, one moment at a time. Have you ever been in a conversation where you suddenly noticed that you were having to convince someone of something? But the other person was only having their point of view, while you were holding to your own. Instead of simply stating what you think, why not begin to discuss where it is you are uncertain? Your certainty is what you use to limit what you can know. You cling to your beliefs as if they were your shelter in the storm. But when you say that you are wanting to know more and you allow yourself to be open to receiving information from unlikely sources, that is when you begin to have a more conscious relationship to your world. You see it as your teacher and as your reflection, and you give it your respect. And when you do this, you realize that there is no you and it. There is no out there. There is no them. But all of it, instead, is you being created by you. You are creations that have the ability to create. We are your support system. We will give you the raw materials you need, and sometimes what you need is to be aware. So when you have been given a reflection in the form of another who is sharing their perspective, you will notice that it is part of you that is represented. And that part of you needs love and acceptance much more than it needs to be convinced that this, you, is right. Put more of your focus into the ideas of creation and leave your thoughts of worry and pain and victimhood aside. You do not live in a universe where others are able to interfere with your process. You only have that which you are agreeing to. And in order to have an experience that you have agreed to, you must have others playing their parts. And so that is why at times it appears that you are being held back, held down, persecuted, inhibited, put upon by another. They agree to play the role that you ask them to play. So you see, that is your creation. That is you deciding that you wanted to have the experience of another wielding their power over you. Why would you do that, you might ask? Why would anyone want to have that experience? Well, when you have that type of experience, it allows you to know how powerful you are by moving from a feeling of being overpowered, being powerless, to the sensation of reclaiming your power, rediscovering your power. You get to really feel the energy of power surging through you, emanating from you. That is all part of the setup, the way that you have played your game out. It is wonderful to witness, and it is inevitable. That is why it is allowed to unfold in this way. Because there is no scenario where that experience of remembering how powerful you are does not occur. So be prepared for that experience, because you will have it. You will have it soon. And then it will be time for you to use that power wisely. We have begun to give you a framework for the process that is well underway in your reality. We are telling you what to expect. It is far more of a change that you will experience in your own personal lives than it is a change in what you will see around you. Focus on you. Focus on your challenges and let everything outside of you reflect to you the work you are all doing. You are masters, and you are giving yourselves a chance to experience that mastery. The way in which you do this is your choice. It is our recommendation that you give yourselves the gold stars for what you already have accomplished. In fact, it is not our place, or anyone else's, to tell you, because we are not experiencing what you are experiencing. We cannot. You must check in with yourselves and be honest about how you are doing in each and every moment. It is time for you to be aware, and in order to do so requires some of you to remove some of the noise from your lives. You can easily see what is going on outside of you because it is loud and demands your attention. But what goes on inside of you can be easier to ignore. It is the place where all answers exist. And it is necessary for you to go within to find them. We are opening a window with you, and you are able to step through your window. It is high time to believe that you are source energy beings in a sort of illusionary reality, playing out a wonderful array of stories for the purpose of better understanding of who it is you are. It is so important to recognize that distinction between what you are living and who it is you are. Because, you see, many of you get caught up in the what you are living part. It becomes more important than who it is that is doing the living. So that who you are becomes compromised by what is going on around you. You become less of who you are. As you consider these various circumstances, we would rather you see them as a puzzle that you, as a soul consciousness, are going to put together. It is fun for you to play with your puzzles and your other games that are challenging, so why not view your life in a similar fashion? Okay, we will tell you why. There are some misconceptions that you have bought into that make it as if each of these puzzles you are playing with are actually much more important than they truly are. For nothing could be more important than being your true self. No circumstance has within it more gravity than you have lightness of being. So please do put down the puzzle pieces if they feel too heavy, too complicated, too many puzzles going at the same time. And just remind yourselves of who you are and that there is nothing here that is bigger than you. We always give you the tiniest bit of the full story because we have been waiting for you to come along. And you are indeed making the necessary progress. It will be a fast-seeming trip from here to the world of fifth-dimensional frequency. We see that it has already taken form, and many of you are stepping into it slowly. Like you would a tub of hot water. You want to get in that tub, but your body is not quite ready. So you dip a toe in, and then maybe your whole foot. Then maybe you stand in the water. Okay, you get where we are going with this. So, it is quite understandable that you would be excited about living in the new world, and we are excited for you. But everywhere you look, there is beauty. There is love, there is opportunity for connection and creativity and joy to be experienced. So remember that where you are now is perfect and full of wonderful things for you to experience. So lighten up. You were designed by so many and your experiences are serving many more because you have such tremendous challenges. And we want you to begin your ascension in the most positive way that you can. In your world you admire those who persevere, who overcome, who endure. But we want you to simply relax and know that you have nothing to prove to anyone. Not even yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Take naps. Get massages. Put yourselves in the relaxing and refreshing bathwater one toe at a time. We side with all of you in your disputes. We are there for each side, giving each person involved what they need. And playing no favorites at all. Because having a perspective is an important part of being who you are, and we want you to be that individual that you have chosen to be. So we are not on one side and not the other. Yes, but you take sides. And this is your decision, but we do not see a need to be on one side or the other. We see that there is truth everywhere. And we know that what is most important for all of you is that you be who it is you set out to be. In your political arena, there is a desire to get more people to side with one candidate or one perspective, or one ideology, over the other. So you have your decision. And it is certainly a valid thing to go about your process and arrive at your decision. Do take note, however, of how it is you are feeling as you approach this subject of politics and power. It is far more important for you to have a better understanding of your own feelings about what is being said and what is being done by those in positions of authority than it is to make the side that you are siding with right. Everything that ever plays out in your reality is there to show you something about what is going on inside of you. It's to have all of your reflections showing you how it is you are doing in your process of becoming. We see it all as more important in that regard and having no importance in the way that you all see it as being significant. Who wins? Who loses? What laws get passed? Which side gets to feel more powerful? All of that nonsense has very little to do with you in your day-to-day lives. But your response to it, that is the key. The key to winning in November. Be open to a new set of priorities in your lives. Have no attachment to what you have been. You are witnessing and participating in a tremendous shift. And when you are going about your day-to-day activities, you will experience great change. So there is no more need for you to set aside time for this, to make time for that. All you need to do is be present and pay attention, because there are no more requirements of you. You have fulfilled them all. You are ready now to exist as frequency beings who carry out acts of love and service with no need to see results, with no need to see a direct consequence. For you will be acting out of a genuine enthusiasm, rather than an obligation or an expectation, and never out of fear. Begin to take this approach to your lives now, before the shift is complete. Make your own adjustments to reflect this reality that we speak of. For there is nothing stopping you now, except your own ideas of what you have to do. They are just that, ideas. That is why we offer you this perspective. Because we think it is time for a new paradigm to take hold in your consciousness. We give mostly from a place of knowing and not because we think you need our help. We came to this channel when he was at a very good time in his life. Always in those times when you are feeling your best will you notice that the state of being of your consciousness allows for better receptivity. Once you get that you are always at the top, always source, always love, that is when you find more of that. We cannot give you what you are not a vibrational match to. It is not possible, but we can hold it for you. We can make sure that it is well kept, well cared for, while you find your way to that frequency. It is best for you to give yourselves as much leeway in your creations as you possibly can, to allow for as many variables in as much time with as many pitfalls along the way as you can. Because once you get that which you seek, you want to savor it, you want to be surprised by it, and you want to be vibrationally ready for it. It is your process of discovery. That is truly what you are seeking. You are seeking to know yourselves. You use these seemingly external manifestations to understand your true nature. They all represent you. Do what you will and grace your universe with your vibration. Put the notions aside that say that you are a product of your environment, because when you buy into that idea, then you perpetuate it in your experience. But you are not here to reflect the environment back to itself. You are here to shift and see that reflection in your environment. We have the knowing that when you are who you are and you ask no one for their approval, you blaze a trail that others will follow. The perpetual aspect of the construct of your universe is that it will always be in a state of movement forward. Yes, you are required to keep up with that movement in order to evolve with it. You are in the flow of that evolution. And what that means for you in your lives is you must let go. You must let go of the old, the fixed, the standards, the ideas that the very fabric of your society are based upon. They are withering away, while you are creating the new society, and your participation is necessary. But the you that must participate is the you that has no attachment to any beliefs that would keep you contained in a sort of box. Dive into the ocean of uncertainty. It is your destiny. And you are much more than the sum total of your life experiences to date. Let the ocean wash away those memories, and let yourselves be born again. When you are just a little one, you set out to be a person who enjoys life fully in every moment. For what is fun? How can I make this fun? Is your perspective on all things. But then you find that not everyone else enjoys your idea of fun. You notice that, or you are told that so and so is annoyed by you for having so much fun. Or, you are being a distraction. You are being inappropriate in some way with your fun having. So you gradually begin to lower your vibration so that you will not offend those around you who are having considerably less fun, as they talk about something serious and important. So, this is how you grow up. You grow up by learning how to fit into the current vibration of the room that you walk into. You learn to conform. You learn what others want from you is more important than your fun. Is that not what they teach you in school? They teach you to sit still, to not talk, To stop throwing things and laughing. And so you do because they are bigger, they are stronger, and they can take things away from you. They can make your lives less fun than they have already decided your life should be. So when you get to a certain age, you begin to realize that you have been sold a bill of goods. That there is no honor in sitting still and fitting in and being appropriate. So once again you begin to play. You begin to look for things that excite you, that would be fun for you to do. And people say, oh, he is having a midlife crisis or, she is having a breakdown. Oh, they worry about you then. Did you hear about so and what they are doing now? How ridiculous. But you have already played their game, and you know that it is much more fun to be who you are in a room full of those who are being conformists and to simply not care anymore. Because no matter how well you play their game is never as fun being you to the fullest extent possible. Because you live in a world of diversity, you have different perspectives. And you give each other different ways of experiencing the same thing. But you believe in your perspective, and you think that there is a right way to view a situation. Remember that you are in a bigger structure than you are usually able to perceive. When you are in touch with your multidimensional, universal selves, you can see the value in having another perspective to challenge your own, to make you question. You come from that which holds all perspectives, therefore, you are all perspectives. But you are taking on one perspective because you are playing out a role. When you realize that it is pointless to resist another's point of view, yet to continue to have your own, you bring more light to whatever it is you are focusing on, and you will satisfy your desire to know yourself as an individuated consciousness that is also part of the whole. It is good that you take a stance. But it is even better when you allow others to take theirs, even if it is in direct opposition to what you believe. Send your preferences out vibrationally, and feel the essence of that frequency, because you will get that which you put out every time. Send your beliefs and your thoughts to a place in the ethers, and begin to experience your world through the filter of your heart. It is your purest interpreter. When you are in the heart space, you feel full and you feel one with all that is. Understand this is your true nature, and you will hold yourself in the heart-centered space for as long as you can. You are still opening that operating system. It is happening in incremental ways. You so love to love, and you have been offered the opportunity to love others in your lives. When that becomes enough for you to thrive on, you will begin to spend less time worrying about other things. Because when you subsist on a diet of the love vibration, you find that you need much less of the superficial things that you used to use to prop yourselves up and feel special. It is a wonderful thing to get the substance from that which you already have, because asking for it to come to you is going about it the hard way, the slow way, the long way, and ultimately the less satisfying way. Begin to process what you are given from us, from others, from your friends, from the media, from your coworkers. Process it through your heart center and see what type of response you get. It will tell you whether or not you want to participate in what is being offered to you. You will no longer need to think things through, weigh the pros and cons, play out all the different scenarios. Because you will know in the moment you run it through your heart processor whether or not it is a match to what you desire to experience. You will have more fun because you will notice the fun in things that once were tedious. You will give more because you will notice that you have more to give than you ever thought you did. And you will feel the way you always wanted to, but were under the impression that you needed something or someone to feel that way. Because we begin to understand the cause of why something has occurred. It is important to understand the lessons involved. Because you are taking on quite a bit in this lifetime. You are here because you decided that you wanted to experience great change. And in order to experience great change, first one must experience what it is to have little or no control. It is paramount that you experience both ends of all spectrums. That is the only way that change can and will occur. So when you see suffering, when you see destruction, when you see people crying out, know that there is a reason for it all. Yes. The greater the person is willing to have a negative experience, power that is summoned to move across the fulcrum point to a new dimension where people are able to live freely, powerfully, creatively, lovingly. This is where you are headed, and this is why you experience the opposite of all of those things in this lifetime. Because they are necessary to summon absolute power. Do not begin your day with a singular idea of where it should go and of how it must play out. You are creators. And you will find your lives to be more satisfying as you give them opportunities to surprise you. When you plan too much, you limit. You close yourself off to possibilities that would delight you, if you would allow them to. Instead of thinking about all the things you will do and in what order, and with whom. Begin your day by setting an intention, very broad, for how it is you would like to experience the world. What do you want to bring to the party? What is your energy contribution? When you have a more flexible approach, you get to play more, to see where the day takes you. Follow the impulses to places that were previously unknown, uncharted, undiscovered. You will take many turns down many corridors, leading to what you have decided would be the most fun, but you must be willing to let go of what you think your day should be, how it should go. And be open to new experiences of joy. Give yourselves a chance at living without boundaries, without time, without expectation. And see what it is you can find amidst the wonders of creation. Have you given yourselves the opportunity to experience what it is you are by welcoming in all that you are not? By allowing yourselves to engage with many different ideas, you get more from the universe. It is a place of creativity. When you are in the process of becoming, you may notice that there are portions of yourself that you do not wish to acknowledge. You may have thought that they were parts of you that you could eradicate, that they are shameful, that you should never be expressing those aspects. Because if you do, you will be exhibiting evidence of a lack of expansion. Give yourselves a break. You will be including more as you expand. Think of a bubble about the size of a half an inch in diameter. Now, imagine that bubble as it expands, and its permeable walls allowing in things around it. As it expands, it includes more of its surroundings. And so is the case with you. You are going to have to acknowledge that you are all things, even those things that you would not wish to be. You can include those aspects of self, and you can love those aspects of self. And you do not need to choose those aspects of self, just because you have allowed them and acknowledged them to exist within you. We invite you to simply choose a new frequency if you do not enjoy the one you are vibrating. But you do not need to shut it out, eliminate it, make it wrong, or be afraid. It is simply another choice, equally valid as an experience. It doesn't make you bad, doesn't make you faulty. Just makes you all that is. When the hope that you have been holding onto is removed by what you perceive reality to be, you have a choice to make. But most of you are giving your power to others. And they are happy to take it. Open yourselves to a new framework, a new power structure. It will include all beings working together, sharing perspectives, serving the greater good of all. When you are able to feel this consciously, even as the reflection outside of you shows you something quite different, that is when change will occur. So it is your decision whether to set your sights on the possibility that a few leaders in power will bring about this type of reality that we speak of. Or whether you and those around you who are of like mind, can project a new system by simply pulsing out the frequency of that system. You don't need every single person to do this in order for great change to occur. You don't even need a majority. Working for the good of the whole gives you added power and influence. By seeing others as powerful beings, you activate it within them. So continue to hold your vision of how you would like your society to function. And let go of the game you have been playing for so long. Put more attention to the parts of yourself that you feel good about. Take time to appreciate yourself for what you do well. Go into the past, if you must, to remember every single good deed you have ever done, every single moment when you were at your best. Take stock of your accomplishments. Be willing to see yourself from that perspective, because whenever you have been feeling the flow, you have been operating with fifth dimensional frequency. We want you now to practice holding that vibration, practice being that frequency, practice being your fifth dimensional self. What would my fifth dimensional self do? How would my fifth dimensional self feel? And play around with the notion that as a fifth dimensional being, you will have much more energy to play with. Much more freedom, much more flexibility. You will never feel a lack of time, for you will understand your eternal nature. Why not start practicing living in that world now? Don't try to imagine what it will look like, but rather, feel what you will be as you experience yourself in that dimension. And enjoy. Because there are so many different ways of knowing the same one thing, we give you many ways of knowing who you are. That is the idea behind what it is you experience. It is for the purpose of giving you an opportunity to know the many different ways of having an experience. But you are now here in this physical form to have your experience of reality. And that is good enough for now. You can take a perspective on something and hold it for yourself so that you will know that this is a part of who you are. Who you are is all things. And having your unique perspective is part of that which is all that is. So have your unique perspective. Give your flavor to whatever it is you do. It doesn't have to be like anyone else's. It does not matter what someone else thinks about your unique interpretation of reality. It matters for them what they think, but it does not matter to you. Your job is to be yourself. No one else can be you. That is why you were given the assignment of you, so that you could fulfill that role for the one. So make sure that you are living your life according to your preferences so that you will give Source the opportunity to fully experience the world through you. As you love yourself for being exactly who you are, you experience as Source does. We suggest that you give yourselves that bit of ecstasy as often as you can. We wish you could witness your own becoming in the way that we can. We are witnessing the evolution of your consciousness. You are doing better than you think. You are well on your way to the fifth dimension. So why not give yourselves some credit for having made it this far? We would tell you the precise time of your arrival, but that would change the time of your arrival. You see, you must go into the darkness without knowing when you will come out. Or it ruins the experience. You forget that you are here having an experience, and that in reality, you are already there. So it is not as if you must do what you are doing in order to get there. Because you are already there. So you are just on a journey of experiencing what it is like to move from here to there. And that is an important concept to take with you on your journey. You must recognize that you are this wonderful being who is a frequency, and that you have deliberately placed yourselves here because it looked like fun. Why not from this vantage point just decide that you are now the one who is calling the shots, and that you will exist in the fifth dimensional frequency because you want to? Because it sounds like fun? Make it a choice, rather than a destination. You want a better future, and you are in the process of creating such a future for all. But there is still this part of you that says, no. It cannot be. What was will always be. We are where we are because we are defective in some way. We have not evolved one bit. The only thing about today that is different from yesterday is the amount of technology we have. We tell you that this is not at all how we see it. You are the ones who have put yourselves into situations to give yourselves a reason to feel, and many of the situations that you see would lead some of you to believe that you are not doing so well. But remember, you would have to be very evolved masters in order to create such difficult situations for yourselves. That is a sign of great evolution. So that is why you look around at times things that are way out of whack, that are not at all what you would prefer. Because as masters you need to create big challenges. The world is exactly as it should be in order to create exactly what you wanted to create, so that you could clear what you want to clear. Any and all experience has value. We assure you that a utopia would become quite mundane and you would want some action, something to give you reason to summon more strength, more knowledge, more love. To take a stand and to be that which is a representative of Source is why you place yourself in challenging situations. We applaud you for this. We salute you. We ask that you ask for assistance whenever you need a little help from your friends. You are getting along quite nicely, in spite of what you may think. It is a very blessed world that you live in, filled with beautiful beings of love and light who wish to be of value, and to serve, and to share. We see acts of kindness in you every day. More and more of you are waking up to realize that you are all one, you are. And you exist for the purpose of joy. Heaven reaches for you in the same way that you reach for it. Guidance is your true path to it. You get your guidance from many sources. We have many ways of contacting you and nudging. You have many ways of hearing us and putting into action those nudges that you receive. Open your awareness to all the ways in which you are getting your messages because you have always been, and always will be, receiving. That is part of the journey. It is our desire, and the desire of many others, to distance to you. So we receive fulfillment from doing our part. Just as you receive the benefit from listening and taking the steps that you can. Working together, we build a better universe for all. Because we are all connected. We all receive the benefit of your evolution. We grow together. We are the future you. And you are the ones who give birth to us. And we appreciate you for having your growing pains. You will receive the benefit as well. And we want to assist you in seeing the beauty of your journey. From a broader perspective, it is quite lovely. It is quite magical. It is filled with moments of great recognition, of splendor, of love. You send out frequencies to the ends of the infinite universe. Patterns, waves, pulsations. Look within to discover the source of all. Be in harmony with the moment you are in, for it is a part of a grand tapestry of events, creating a wonderful kaleidoscope of energy and light. That which to gaze upon is ecstasy. You are ecstasy, creating itself. Many of you are aware that you are creator beings. More and more of you are seeing the results of your frequency offerings. And you are witnessing the evolution of your consciousness. That is why you are here. So all of the stories you create around your life are there for you to give yourselves a reason to evolve. To set yourselves up with a place to start from and a place to go. Wonderful little stories you have. You are very much engaged with these stories. You are so enamored with your world and all of its wonder, and you see the potential that you have for living joyously. You desire those joyous experiences that are available for you. We desire them for you. But we are more focused on the big picture here, which is the evolution of your consciousness. We wish for you to see all of the games you are playing as being in service to that end. Many of you want to evolve so that you can be more deliberate in your creation, so that you can create the lives that you want to have. There are occasions where you decide to take action, and you do affect dance. Since you are able to take more action, you wish to solve everything that way. You want to see direct result. And you cannot dispute the impact that action has on your environment. The results are tangible and visible and somewhat immediate. So many of you say that. The proof is in the pudding. Show me results. I will believe it when I see it. You want to document what you seek to prove so that you can show another that this is how it works. This is how we affect change. We are not opposed to the idea of taking action. It is necessary and it can be quite rewarding and fun. We simply want you to put as much emphasis on vibration as you are on the tangible, on the hard evidence that you can examine in the physical. We see many of you wishing to strike a balance between putting the vibration out there and taking steps in the physical. There are different approaches to taking action. One comes from a feeling that if you don't take this action, you won't get what you want, or you will get what you don't want. And then there is action that comes from a place of joy. A place of desire to create. This is the action that will be most fruitful and enjoyable. You will find yourself taking action before realizing that you had the impulse to take it. And this is action that comes from an alignment of energies. And you can feel it in your bones when the timing is right. It is as if you are being moved by source. You tend to become the thing you detest. Why is this so? If you detest it in the first place, you have a charge around it. There is a judgment you are making. So, you are here to release judgment and remove charge from all experience. That is why it is sometimes necessary to become the thing. So that then you may realize that nothing exists outside of you. There is nothing that you are better than. There is nothing that you are less than. So, better to understand that nothing that you perceive is ever apart from you. You can love and still not choose to experience something. You can send that person, that experience, your love without choosing it for yourself. And the truth is, when you don't love, when you resist something, you are choosing it. For it must be integrated in order for you to become a whole being. When you see something you don't like, make peace with it. Send it your love, and be on your way. If it is of a lower vibration than what you are offering, it cannot, it will not, follow you. For the frequencies will be incompatible.